We're calling for all this accountability. But all these guys just get to say things, and there's zero accountability. There's zero accountability when it comes to me. Just literally get to throw shit at a wall and see if it sticks.
Yo, what's the word, man? Draymond Green is fed up with the media and all their daily hot takes. He said that the sports shows were just bashing Nico Harrison, and now all of a sudden they're bashing Luka. And now he wasn't calling out Stephen A. Smith directly, but y'all already know he take offense to anybody that say anything about the media, and he feels attacked personally. Draymond Green said it's time for these media members to have some accountability. We'll get into exactly what made him make that statement later, but first, let's take a look at what he said initially to make Stephen A. even have a response anyways.
This has nothing to do with Luka, by the way, what I'm saying. But now when I turn on the TV, all I see is everybody in the media who crushed Nico Harrison, who essentially aided in him getting fired, regurgitating the same things that Nico Harrison was saying. And I struggle with that because I haven't seen one person come out and say, hey, Nico, I'm sorry for the things I said about you when you made that move.
He's wrong with his depiction of what people were saying. I think that in this particular instance, Draymond Green is being incredibly unfair. As a person that has his podcast, that's a member of the quote unquote new media, a phrase he's coined, listen, you're allowed to deduce what you see and come to a conclusion and spew your point of view. That's what he does. This man has a full-time job, getting paid an exorbitant amount of money, deserves every penny. He's a 4-time champion, a former defensive player of the year, who will be a Hall of Famer. He has the credentials to say what he says, but in the same breath, be fair about it. The reality of the situation is that Draymond is saying that because he's fond of Nico Harrison. Well, I got news for you. A lot of us are fond of Nico Harrison. Nico Harrison is a great guy. Vinny, Wendy, I know you guys have met him. You guys have spoken to him. Who dislikes Nico Harrison? Who has a negative thing to say about Nico Harrison, the person, or anything like that? Who had a negative thing to say about him prior to the trade? Nobody. He had helped lead the Dallas Mavericks to the NBA Finals and made some deals that were, the Kyrie Irving deal, the PJ Washington, a Daniel Gafford. He did a lot of good moves. I mean, this understandably so. But the Luka Doncic thing stands out. And Draymond Green should know better in terms of when you're talking about highlighting what transpired. The man is unemployed now. Why do you think that is? You think it is an accident? You think there's no correlation? The fact of the matter is that Luka Doncic, for all of his flaws, was a 25-year-old basketball global iconic figure. He wasn't just a great basketball player on the court. He was good for business because of his global appeal. And you let that go. And how do you let it go? It wasn't just that you traded Luka Doncic. You traded him for a dude that was almost 6 years older, that was just as, if not more, injury prone. And by the way, when he arrived, he had a great game, a great half, his opening game, and then obviously got injured. That was the concern. And the real issue, the egregious part about it, which Draymond again should know, and he should know from personal experience, because before the trading deadline, when it was a possibility that he was going to be traded, what did the Golden State Warriors, led under Joe Lacob and Steve Kerr and these boys, actually do? They put feelers out there to see what level of marketability he would generate. That is not what Nico Harrison did. Nico Harrison got on the phone with one dude, which was, Rob Pelinka.
Now, there were reports claiming that Nico did reach out to the Bucks and Minnesota to try to get a trade done, but both teams allegedly declined. Then that's when he called Rob to make the trade with the Lakers. And like I did say, those reports did come out. They weren't confirmed real yet, but I did hear Gil say it as well, so I'm not sure. But do y'all really believe Nico had the authority to trade the franchise guy in Dallas without the owner's blessing? Of course not. Nico is just the scapegoat of this whole situation. Luka was up for his supermax, which was 5 years for about 345, 360 million. And I'm not so sure that the owner wanted to pay that fee, because even after they traded Luka, they had a press conference and spoke bad about him. said he was fat, injury prone, and he only played one side of the ball, and claimed he didn't have the work ethic like guys like Shaq and others, which they must didn't follow Shaq too long. But anyways, Stephen A definitely must also forgot that ESPN had a blast uploading the trade after effect, bashing Nico, whether it was his show or whatever many other shows they have on the platform. They were uploading 3-4 times a day for weeks straight, months, even into the playoffs. Was this a bad idea and all that? So
Problem that I have is we're calling for all this accountability. But all these guys just get to say things and there's zero accountability. There's zero accountability when it comes to me. Just literally get to throw shit at a wall and see if it sticks. Zero accountability. But always want to hold others accountable. I don't understand. Like, these guys don't have to answer for these awful ass takes they make. How wrong they be in most situations. But these are all experts. I don't understand it. I just don't understand it. It's the only thing you can become an expert in and never have any experience with the game. But no one's held accountable. But we want to hold everyone else accountable. That was my take about Nico Harrison. Everyone wanted to hold him accountable. Those same very people get to come out and now crush Luka Doncic. So we're just crushing everyone that's doing something, that's done something. We're just crushing everyone. Because initially it was Nico, about Luka. Now we're destroying Luka. But you people crushed him. For him. No, you crush him. Where's the accountability? I have not seen one person come out and say, well, Nico said X, Y, and Z. I agree with it. You don't have to agree that Luka's a bad player because he never said that. But you're saying he's unwatchable. So my entire point was, where is the accountability? And how long does everyone just get to throw shit at a wall and see if it sticks and be called experts? That was my take.
And I agree with Draymond. Every day is a new Luka piece being dropped. Every sports show has his name in the headlines, claiming he's a ball hog and his play style is unethical and unwatchable. And after every game, his own Lakers network calls him out about how he needs to spread the ball around more and get his teammates involved. Hell, even his own coach has been saying it in his post-game interviews and halftime interviews. The media is claiming that Luka will never win a championship with his play style, but in the same breath, they trash Nico for even making the trade in the first place. And in my opinion, you can't have it both ways. And Draymond's point was that nobody get to hold these TV personalities accountable for what they say. So I guess he's doing it. And I do like to expose myself from time to time as well, as you can see on my page. But that's all for this video here, man. Do you initially agree with Draymond or are you rolling with Stephen A. Smith? Let me know down in the comments. Appreciate you for watching. Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button. Peace.